Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Clucci here with our town manager Bill Post in the town of Bowdoinham. We're gearing up for town meeting, which is Wednesday, June 12th. So we hope to see you there. And ahead of that, we wanted to just put together another quick video to run through what's going to be on the warrant. And so Bill, thanks for joining me.
Sure, absolutely.
First question, we'd like to start sort of with a bottom line for the town budget, which is really the focus of what we're approving at town meeting. Can you give us a sense of what that looks like overall?
Absolutely. There are several different changes, I should say, in the budget this year. We are proposing to add another full-time public works employee, which will make a huge difference in their work efficiency over the year. Both winter, shortening some of the plow routes, and also in the non-winter months by cutting grass or street sweeping or trimming back trees at stop signs, things like that that we always have the opportunity to do. We're also proposing to add 10 hours a week to the administrative assistant position in the town office. And this actually will bring us, I think, to about 2 hours less staff time than we had when I first started 8 years ago. So we've made some efficiencies, cut back, and now we're increasing hours from what we currently have because the workload it gets more and more each year. Some of the other areas, we're proposing to add money in the capital reserve account. We have increased the town office reserve account dramatically by $25,000. The board has supported that and agreed to that based on the potential library addition on the back of the building. So we have some code issues that need to be fixed in the building, dealing with fire codes mostly.
And I think remembering that conversation, even regardless of the library project, there was support for bringing the building up to fire standard anyways. Yes. For employee safety.
Yeah, and some egress issues that go along with the fire issue. So yes, the board has supported that. So we have built in a little bit of money for that to start the planning process there, and hopefully continue that project. So there's some changes there. Other than that, the debt service budget, we do have the first interest-only payment on the loan for the new public works facility, but we did pay off a loan, a fairly large loan this past year. So debt service is actually down by $17,000, so that's a significant decrease. And we've also seen an increase in our non-property tax revenues. So money that does not come from the property tax base, whether it's excise tax or using additional money from our undesignated fund balance this year to help reduce the tax rate. So the municipal impact on the tax rate this year would be about 2 cents on the tax rate.
And how does that compare to previous, like the recent past?
It's if not the lowest, one of the lowest increases in the municipal budget, in the net municipal budget, since I've been here. And so
that would be 2 cents on every $1,000 of property value.
Yes. Yes, which is really a negligible amount. It comes out to about 0.13% increase, and the inflation last year was around 2.8%. So we're well under that. Can't say so much for the school budget, which is a sizable increase. So there will be an impact on property taxes because of that. But I'm happy to say that the municipal budget, even with the additions that we've made, with the differences in the revenue coming in, that we're seeing one of the smallest increases there.
Thanks. And one of the other articles that's sort of non-budget related that's on the warrant has to do with the, you mentioned Public Works in your answer there, and Public Works relocating to the new Pond Road location. What would be done with the property, the waterfront, kind of proposed waterfront redevelopment and vision for, a green space down there. Can you talk about what actually that question is asking?
Yes, and actually that article is actually Article 5. It's early on in the town meeting warrant article, and it basically is asking for the town to approve the concept of the redevelopment of that site, the current public works site, into a recreation space. There's been many public meetings that have looked at designing a master site plan, but I think it's important for people to understand that they're not approving any funding for this project at all. They're just approving the overall vision to turn that property into a recreation site for the town, keeping the yellow building that's down there as it is because it's leased out to a business. And then in the future, when we start looking at if the waterfront plan vision is adopted by the town, then the Comprehensive Plan Committee and possibly the Community Development Advisory Committee would then look at individual features of that recreation area and may do some easy things like trail work and things like that to begin with. Just because the plan may get adopted with the master site plan as it is, it's not approving the individual elements that are within that plan. And there's absolutely no funding tied to the plan at all. As a matter of fact, if the plan's approved as a vision, as a concept, then we'll be looking for grants. We'll be looking high and low for grant money. And then again, as I said, there'll be a public process for any feature, any potential construction at all. And because of Bowdoinham, the way that Bowdoinham is made up, there's a history of hands-on work, and I would expect that to continue with this park as well, whether it's with residents lending their talents for landscaping or plantings or trees or what have you. I think that makes sense because the residents know what's best and what grows best and what's natural for this environment. So I think that going forward, if that plan is adopted, there'll be a lot of grassroots effort around it, and not just bringing in contractors to do whatever it is.
Sure. And just to be really clear, if it's approved and then there are projects that would require additional new tax revenue to be raised, that would need to come back to a town meeting.
Yes, absolutely. Any spending whatsoever that would come from tax money would have to come to a town meeting vote and be part of a budget in future years. And it could be within 2 years, it could be within 10 years. Sure. It's a long range plan. It's not, let's build this, and this in the next several years. It's let's just take it a little bit at a time, step here, step there, and really have the public involved in what the design is for individual elements going forward.
Thanks. Last question is because I know it's always a topic of interest at the town meeting. We have the external funding request section of the warrant. Can you talk a little bit about what's included in that for this year's warrant?
There are two external funding requests for non-municipal organizations. One is for Spectrum Generations, and they were funded a couple of years ago, and then they missed last year's deadline for the process. So they're requesting $1,495. And essentially their funding goes towards Meals on Wheels program. Both the Finance Advisory Committee and the Select Board are recommending that be funded at that level, but that's up to the town meeting vote as to what level it's funded at. And then the other one is a request from the Historical Society to support the Mayor Meeting Hall, which is the community center, of course, that they've been working on at the former Mayor Meeting Grange. There was some difference of opinion between the Finance Advisory Committee and the Select Board in this recommendation, in that the Historical Society is asking for $6,500, and that essentially is paying for the utilities for the building for a year. And the board has a policy that basically puts a cap on those contributions, and it's tied to the proposed municipal budget as a percentage. There's a formula that goes with it, and that number is $2,012. So the Finance Advisory Committee recommended the $6,500, and the Select Board recommended the $2,012, which is the cap number. Again, the town meeting vote is who decides that anyway. So the town meeting could decide on either of those numbers or any number that they choose.
Thanks. That should about cover us for an overview of the warrant. We hope to see you at town meeting on Wednesday, June 12th at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. at the Bowdoinham Community School.
7 p.m. at the school. See you there.